as his sons watched from the back seat of that car.
I was like, he's shooting me. I couldn't believe it, so I kind of sat down in the car trying to do this. Put my hands up because I didn't want him to shoot me in my face or in my head or nothing. He just kept shooting.
So what's going through your mind?
My babies are right here. My babies. So after he stopped shooting me, I said, Daddy, love you. No matter what. I thought it was going to be the last. I thought it was going to be the last thing I say to them. Thank God it wasn't.
The incident once again sparking protests across the country, adding fuel to a fire that had been burning all summer since the police killing of George Floyd.
I didn't want to be the next George Floyd. I didn't want to die.
It was August 23rd, and Blake was at the house of LaQuisha Booker, the mother of 3 of his children. They were celebrating their son Israel's 8th birthday.
A woman who he had digitally raped, a woman who had a restraining order on him, and he was over there acting a fool again, and the police were summoned. The police were summoned because he was acting a fool again. I just did a video of a 2015 incident where he was almost killed by cops in Racine after pulling a gun on a black man in a club and trying to shoot him. But the clip fell out the gun, so he couldn't shoot the guy. Then he got into it with the cops after that. There's also a 2010 incident in Chicago where he was also almost killed by cops after he fought with cops again in 2010. I didn't do a video on that, but I'll put the video of the 2015 incident in the description box. Hit the like button, subscribe, share these videos, stop being scared on Twitter and YouTube and Twitter and Facebook. For those of you who are scared, don't worry, you can just donate. You can donate to this channel and keep this channel going. Take the $5 challenge. So now Jacob Blake speaks. And listen, I have nothing against this brother at all. This happens all the time, and I don't know about it. Only reason I'm talking about it because the NBA, they were about to cancel the season. They didn't, when Kobe was burning, him and his 13-year-old daughter along with 9 other people, the Altobelli family, all these other people were in flames on the side of a mountain in Calabasas. And the NBA people were telling the NBA, don't play the games because Kobe's body's still on fire. They haven't put the fire out yet. The NBA said, we gonna play the games because Kobe will want us to play. That was their excuse. Kobe was here, he say play. Yeah, Kobe would say play. Kobe would say, yeah, if me and my daughter are on the side of a mountain burning to death, go ahead and play the games. Yeah, Kobe would say that, right? So anyway, they said Kobe will want us to play. Plus, there's no precedent to ever not play an NBA game. Fast forward 4 months, these clowns was ready to cancel the season in the middle of the playoffs because some random dude, thug nigga, straight thug nigga, it is what it is. I know y'all don't like to hear it. Every black person's a saint. That's why we have 500 murders in Philly last year. That's why we had 600 in Chicago. That's why we had 200 in D.C., the most in 20 years. Because every black guy's a saint. All he need is white people money and reparations and everything. He'd be a doctor, right? All of them. But anyway, fast forward, they going to cancel the season because of this guy. You got to be kidding me. And they had to be talked in to continue the season after they canceled a bunch of playoff games. For this guy, when they wouldn't just postpone the games that were going on that day because while Kobe was and his daughter was still burning to death on the side of a mountain.
I didn't want to die.
It was August 23rd, and Blake was at the house of LaQuisha Booker, the mother of 3 of his children. They were celebrating their son Israel's 8th birthday when an argument broke out between Booker and a neighbor.
So I just wanted to get them. I wanted to leave. My son is inside. Tears was coming out his eyes. He said, "Daddy, you sure it's my birthday?" I'm like, "Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna take him to the store again, make him forget about all this."
As Blake prepares to leave, Booker calls police.
Emergency. Yes, I need the officer. Jacob Blake is here, and he has the keys to a rental that I purchased that I need to take back, and he's not trying to release it.
Police
Oh. Oh. That's a little different. We thought he was breaking up a fight. Oh. So now we have a 911 call from a sister. The least protected person in the world. Saying that this fool was trying to steal her rental car. Now, I don't know if you guys ever rented a car before, but I've rented a lot of cars. I had a lot of car problems, as you guys remember, during the summer and before. Thank God I got a new car, but I had a lot of car problems. So me and my wife, we were back and forth to the hospital. We were constantly renting cars. You're responsible for that car. You have to sign paperwork telling whoever's going to drive that car. You can't even have nobody else drive that car. If that other person, something happens when another person gets in that car, I don't care what they do. Whether they smoking a cigarette and the cherry drops on one of the leather seats and burns a hole in it. That's you. You paying for it. God forbid somebody steal it and take it under the influence, inebriated, and God knows what's going to happen. That woman was responsible for that car. She did the right thing. Not to mention that the guy who stole her car had a stay away order. You see how things unravel? They almost canceled the NBA season for this last year. They literally had to be talked in. I'm talking about the big NBA wigs, the players rep, the commissioner. Everybody had to talk these guys into playing. The WNBA basically dedicated the whole season to this guy. The WNBA dedicated their last whole season to this guy. The Women's National Basketball Association dedicated their last season to this guy.
He's not trying to release it.
Police respond to a, quote, family trouble. They're told there's a warrant for Blake on domestic violence offenses and sexual assault. What are you doing when they show up?
At that time, I'm walking out. I hadn't done anything, so...
Hold on, wait. You not going to ask him about the sexual assault? All this crap we got to hear about black women being not protected, and black women and Snoop shouldn't have called Gail. This the same channel, Good Morning America, where Snoop was demonized for calling Gayle King a funky dog head B because she was a black woman. But we just gonna gloss over these sexual assault charges.
Police respond to a, quote, family trouble. They're told there's a warrant for Blake on domestic violence offenses and sexual assault. What are you doing when they show up?
At that time, I'm walking out. I hadn't done anything, so I didn't feel like they were there for me.
Blake proceeds to put one of his sons in the car, and that's when he says he felt someone grab his arm.
Yeah, they grabbed him because even though he might not have had done anything, which we know is a goddamn lie, he had a stay-away order. You know what? Defund the police. When these sisters put stay-away orders on men, don't enforce them. Forgot it. I forgot. Defund the police. I'm calling for police across the country. If a sister put a stay-away order on a brother, on a white guy, was she dating a Mexican, I don't care, an Asian guy, do not enforce it. Don't enforce it. Only enforce stay-away orders from Arab women, Asian women, white women, and Hispanic women. If a sister got a stairway order, ignore it. It means nothing. And you could thank Good Morning America for that.
They were there for me.
Blake proceeds to put one of his sons in the car, and that's when he says he felt someone grab his arm.
I took my arm away in a human reaction. After I did that, I realized that it was the police, and it's like, uh-oh, because when I did that, he slammed me up against the truck.
Before the cop grabbed you, did they say anything to you?
No, not at all.
According to the Wisconsin Criminal Investigation Report, Officer Shesky recalled saying, quote, "Let's talk about this." He said Blake put his child in the car and turned to face him. Shesky said he then grabbed Blake's arm to put him under arrest and told Blake that he had a warrant. They didn't say why they were there?
They didn't say anything to me.
Did they tell you that?
Because that's what happens. The police just come up mute. Police are like mimes. You get pulled over, they just walk up to the car and don't say nothing. You in a fight or there's some melee and the police show up and they just don't say nothing. That's really how it goes, right? They just show it that police are goddamn mimes nowadays. Let Jacob Blake tell you.
He said he then grabbed Blake's arm to put him under arrest and told Blake that he had a warrant. They didn't say why they were there?
They didn't say anything to me.
Did they tell you that they had a warrant for your arrest?
No.
Some sort of struggle follows. Police believe Blake is reaching for a weapon more than once. Blake denies this. Police deploy a taser.
Some sort of struggle. Y'all ain't burned down all these damn cities and all these black-owned businesses got burnt down in these democratically run cities where basically is one of the only places you're going to see these black-owned businesses, because that's where black people at. And y'all gonna tell us some damn sort of struggle when we can see clear as day he got that police officer in the fucking headlock. You gonna tell us some sort of struggle. We can see clear as day he got the police officer in the headlock, even from the grainy footage and the... Y'all ain't superimposed. Why y'all ain't superimposed this angle? Why y'all gave us the long view? Pause. Why y'all gave us the view from the furthest away view you could give us of the some sort of struggle? In one of the biggest stories of the year, Good Morning America.
Some sort of struggle follows. Police believe Blake is reaching for a weapon more than once. Blake denies this. Police deploy a taser multiple times. Blake pulls the taser prongs out of his skin. Officer Shesky and Blake end up in a physical altercation on the ground. We see you walk away from the officers after they try to grab you.
I'm rattled. You know, I realized I had dropped my knife, that little pocket knife. So I picked it up after I got off of him because they tased me.
How convenient. I'm resisting arrest and damn, I just dropped my knife. Now I carry a blade. One thing I'm gonna do is if that Joe fall out and I'm fighting with a cop, I'm definitely not picking it up. So a reasonable person could concur that ain't how the knife got out. It ain't fall out. You pulled that knife out. The knife just fell out. You gotta be... They make you where you gotta play dumb. You can't be smart. You gotta be the type of dude your wife like, I'm going to Jamaica with my girlfriends. You follow her to the airport, it's just her, it's some dude. And she, oh well, this is actually, you know, he's transitioning. He's transitioning. We're going to Jamaica and he's gonna have his surgery in Jamaica. Oh, okay, honey. Have a good trip. You gotta be a dummy to believe this crap. All this Black Lives Matter stories, you gotta be dumb. You just gotta turn off all your spidey senses, all your radar to fly with this stuff. They literally ask you to be dumb.
I realized I had dropped my knife, that little pocket
knife in hand that Blake says fell out of his pocket. He walks around the front of the vehicle towards the driver's side door. What are you thinking at that point?
I'm not really worried. I'm walking away from them, so it's not like they're gonna shoot me.
This nigga said he's not really worried. This nigga went over a... Listen, I'm going to tell you me. I'm a lame. Fuck it. I'm a square. I ain't like this. Just being over that woman's house, knowing I had a stairway order, I'd have been shaking in my boots. We 50 million miles from that. We basically the worst. Everything that could have happened wrong when you're over a woman's house that you got a stay away order from, happened. And this nigga he not even worried. I mean, everything possible could have went wrong has happened. Like all the worst possibilities happened. Like even things you couldn't have dreamed of happened. And this nigga, he ain't worried.
Walks around the front of the vehicle towards the driver's side door. What are you thinking at that point?
I'm not really worried. I'm walking away from them, so it's not like they're gonna shoot me. I shouldn't have picked it up, only considering what was going on. At that time, I wasn't thinking clearly.
You were thinking once you get the knife into the car, you were going to just say,
throw myself to the ground and, put my arms behind my back. Because if
how many of y'all believe that? I need to know who I'm dealing with. First, though, I just need to know who I'm dealing with. Who believes that? Hit one if you believe that. I need to know who I'm dealing with.
Shouldn't have picked it up, only considering what was going on. At that time, I wasn't thinking clearly.
You were thinking once you get the knife into the car, you were going to just say,
throw myself to the ground and, put my arms behind my back. Because if they did it there and they killed me there, everybody would see it.
According to the Wisconsin Criminal Investigative Report, Officer Shesky says that Blake drove the knife towards Shesky's body. Blake denies this. Blake opens the car door, and at that moment, Officer Shesky grabs the back of Blake's shirt and starts shooting. You said that we can just look at the video. The video tells everything. There are going to be a lot of people who look at the video and say, in the video, you're walking away from the police. So why didn't he just stop and do what the police are asking him to do?
I couldn't hear that. All I heard was screaming. My ears was ringing, so it was all muffled.
If the police were fighting me, if they were tasing me, I would stop walking away from them, and they would have my attention.
I mean, I had not left or tried to run at that point. That when they tased me, I had my hands up.
Officer Shesky.
When you see the video I did on the 2015 incident, you'll understand his mindset. He don't look at this is a thug mindset. Where y'all like Jason Strahan is a square. Look, the police are tasing me. Look at this thing, man. It didn't get real till shots were fired.
I left or tried to run at that point. That when they tased me, I had my hands up.
Officer Shesky's attorney says Blake was given every opportunity to comply, but he chose not to, and insists that, quote, the officers acted according to their training. According to records released in the Wisconsin Criminal Investigation Report, in the past, Blake has been arrested for attempting to flee police and for resisting arrest. These charges were dropped. There are critics who are going to say, well, he's had run-in with the law in the past. He doesn't deserve any sympathy.
If you're a black person in America and you're not perfect, then they say, oh, it was justified. It's like our children have...
That's bullshit. That's bullshit. If you're a black... I don't know no niggas that's even close to perfect. And they never have no trouble with the law. Now I know some niggas that's walk around call themselves demons and goons and thugs and get mad if you call them anything other than that. who have plenty of problems with the law. But this is bullshit. Our children have to be perfect. Get the fuck out of here.
Critics who are going to say, well, he's had run-in with the law in the past. He doesn't deserve any sympathy.
If you're a black person in America and you're not perfect, then they say, oh, it was justified. It's like our children have to be angels.
And we know your kids who are in the car. Have you had any conversations with them about this since it all happened?
I've explained to him and broke it down to him, like, Daddy can die, but for some reason I didn't that day.